There we go.
Okay, so welcome everyone on the Monday morning teaching. We begin with the Laminaljur. Oh, yeah, this time. I think it's good. Yeah. Okay, so you know what is teaching today? What teaching you're expecting? Anything is okay? I'm very much sure every one of you have come with some kind of idea. Expect Rinpoche may teach this, Rinpoche may teach that, or Rinpoche wish teach this. See who is very close in heart. You can tell what you are expecting today, thinking that I may teach today.
Maybe a suggestion about staying always in the practice, Bonpo practice. It's not always easy, even when we travel or something like that. To stay always in the meditation, the prayers, the mantra, everything. It's difficult for me this time since few months to go always in the peace and
are you
practice.
traveling this, Andre?
Yeah, now we are on vacation until this morning and in USA, New Hampton. It's only 4-hour driving. It was to have a small vacation 1 week nearby the sea. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, that's very true. To make easy and non-easy with the practice, they are very much connected with our own mind. I'm not talking about nature, but I'm talking about mind, this very conventional mind or relative mind. If you have remembering that what I often have advising, before you become a good meditator, you must become yourself very close and very connected within yourself and train your mind. Mind is the what makes you practice. Mind makes you good practitioner or non-good practitioner. It's all based on your mind. And also, oh, today my meditation went very well. Or today my practice did not go very well. This is all based on the mind condition. Your mind, when it is being unstable, distracted, and then naturally your meditation affects that, because mind is the what it leads to. And that is why often before we go to the deeper and more particular practice of meditation view, we always advise and teach about Semgye, Kyamdro, Metapa, Laminajo. We always emphasize that. Because of that reason, the more you are familiar and you are easy with your practice, connected with the mind. When we say Semgye, it is connected with your mind, how you broadening your capacity of mind for others, broadening and deepening the compassion and loving kindness towards others, and broadening your pure intention and pure kind of motive of your practice in general, always. Whether you sit and pray, or whether you sit and meditate, or whether you recite any nyemba, that is not the question. Because if your mind is not well prepared, whatever you do, try to meditate on compassion, try to meditate on Semgye, try to meditate on Laminarjo, or even just reciting the nyemba, all will not be a quality, all will be very imperfect, unsatisfying, because that is our mind is not actually well concentrated on your practice, because your mind is out of your control. So when your mind is not being in your control of the deeper level of your mind, subtle level, then the mind become very relative, material, and external, physical. And that is what always we are being distracted. So it is very important to concentrate in that. When we say relative mind, that means also it is also connected how you view things, how you look into. You know, on one object, three people will have three different experiences and respond to. Somebody say, oh, it's beautiful. One will say, oh, okay, not bad. One will say, I really don't bother, don't care. So what is truly in that one object? Is that very disqualified to be loved and attracted, or is something that doesn't have any sense of quality and perfection, that people will look you as beautiful, or look you as okay, not bad, or I don't care? This is all not to the object. It's all our thought. We look from different reasons, with different reasons from different angle, and a very different place you are, you will see the different form of that vision. So that is where it makes different. To make it proper and to make it correct, that is what you need to train your mind. So mind need to learn the truth relative, or truth of relative, or truth of absolute. But either way, mind is important to able to learn, able to understand, able to focus on truth of that very reality. You understand? So then it will make much more easier. Okay, so, but I'm going to talk today here because of all our circumstances and situations around the world, and very destructive natural, environmental, or it's a war, and this what you call pandemic, and all sort of issues and problems are there. Maybe it's not in your country particularly. If it is not maybe in my country particularly, his or her country, but whatever the country is being seriously developed, the power and the reality of relationship, it affects to all over, right? We all are witnessing how much the war affects to whole world, even though it's one or two countries' responsibility of directly, but affects to whole, put everyone in threat, put everyone in distraction, agitation, unhappiness, fear, sort of this. So in that regard, so I like to lead and I like to help to guide or explain how in this kind of situation we should practice Chamma. Many of you are familiar with Chamma practice. Normally we say Chamma Jigpa Jejup, the most well-known, means type of the Chamma. Actually, the innermost, there is a 5 secret Chamma, 5 circle, inner circle, Chamma Rigna. Then 8 Chamma, the 8 protectors from the 8 fears. And that is called Chamma Jigpa Jejup, who protects from the 8 fears, which is many of the fears that is now directly we are in middle of that kind of. And there is also a what you call manifestation Chamma, 16 Chamma, 21 Chamma, 35 Chamma, 360 Chamma, and more as per, because of their fully liberated, fully accomplished compassion, and always concern is love, kind, compassion to all suffering beings, that we all are going through this same. So that Chamma is the one that we all should. Chamma, Champa Namka. Yeah, and particular other Yidam practices that you are familiar. But Chamma is kind of in every level that your practice can benefit self, can benefit your loved one, can benefit whoever you dedicate. So therefore, I think Chamma Jigpa Jejup is very timely, beneficial and important, and we all should have trust to Chamma. We all should have ourselves open heart for Chamma in transcending the quality and blessing, protection, but also opening the wisdom to rise in the blessing energy of Chamma rising in, so that we can be in a good shape or protected from the all out external and internal, the obscuration and distractions, as well as heal physically outside, materially, as well as mentally, that mental stress, mental agitation, yeah, mental instability. All this needs to be calm, settled, grounded well with deep kind of able to make connection to Chamma. So therefore, there are different practices. Many of you have gone through the 21 praise and commentaries, details of Chamma I have already taught. And also I have taught Chamma of this 8 protection as well. And Chamma, the short one, this one, what I'm going to teach. Shri Rana number tapi shingna yumjen tuje chami kula chakcha sowa tapa tsamji jigji yule jawar jojo om mawa mate maye mo ema o maye rupaya do dundu soa. So this is the very short form of Chamma. Shri Raunang number tapi shingna, Shri is kind of like a collective energy of all Chamma and calling it from your heart in a way. So in ordinary language, we say way or Ke or Kai, that's depend on the level who you are calling, even in our everyday life. But here, in a many form, idams, in a male forms, we also call by so. So in a should be this and that. So in a, like example, tagla, member idam. It's kind of like a most directly connected with meditation and so as so, but usually so can be in a many meanings, many ways. So it's not only like a connected with tagla member. So, but particular tagla practice, so is yes, it's connected. So likewise here, Sri means very much Chamma and all its inner secret or outer or all its manifested beings that are kind of calling, and especially Chamma, Yumchamo Shirap Chamma, Yumche Shirap Chamma, it means the great wisdom mother of loving. That is her title translation, Yumche Shirap Chamma. In a short way, we call as a Chamma Chamma. So Chamma has so many aspects. In many different appearance, she comes in a different form. So that is way, but here when we say Sri, so we are kind of calling, so you can imagining Chamma when you meditate and reciting this prayer. Then Rangnam number tapi shingna, the first sentence. Rangnam number tapi shingna means, Rangnam means the self-vision. Whatever you are experiencing, whatever you are going through the visions, so that is what is the Rangnam. Number tapa means pure state of your vision, pure self-vision. Hing means the space above your crown, in front which you are visualizing the Yumchen Shirap Chamma. So that very space, that very place, what is in ordinary language is called a space because it's open. In a particular religious term, it's called a pure land of all the secret chammas, all the chammas, Shinkam, pure land of Chamma. So basically saying, think of the space in front of you when you are meditating, in front of you at the crown level, in front of you, imagining that as a pure land of enlightened or pure land of Chamma. And the vision is visualizing Chamma in space in the place of that pure land. Yumche Tuche Chame Kula, and think about the great mother Chamma. So imagining her color, yellow, golden color, and a yellow. Yumjen Tuje, who is Yumjen Tuje Chamma, the compassionate mother, known as a Tuje Chamma. Yumjen Tuje Chamma, so means when she is Tuje means what does mean she is so kind and compassionate to all? Meant she is in every moment, every single essence, her focus, her concentration, her mind, it's to all sentient beings. And being fully awakened, being fully aware of the suffering, the current situation of suffering can be situation by illness, can be situation of very dangerous, like we have gone through 2-3 years, pandemic. And then can be natural environmental disasters, could be fire, could be wind, could be wind, could be earthquake. Very many things are happening, right? And then also can be war, can be hunger. In Tibetan Dharma, we normally say, ne muktsö sumji kalpa, the period of specific suffering from illness, from the hunger, stubborn, right? Hunger and war. The tsö means weaponry. Now we're talking about nuclear, this and that number, so many different number and types of missiles we are talking about. Early day war is not that danger. Kill one person at a time by shooting. Now kills thousands and even much more quantity. That kind of, who create those, or this emotional mind, dualistic mind, create. Now you are in threat of what you create, for other, and in the name of every nation is claiming when somebody against it, they say, oh, this is for our protection, our security. Do you have 100% it will square now you? Nothing. As much as in the name of security, you will damage other, they will have the power to damage you. So everybody is in this, what do you call, big unstable fear, right? By decision of one or two authority person who have power. So it's kind of, so there is no weapon is going to protect you. So these three crises we call ne, mok, tsu. So tsu means weapons crisis. So which is exactly happening now, right? So these three type of like this. So Chamma is the one who is in capacity to protect us, heal us, and give us energy, give us strength to help others to get out of this fear, this suffering. Yeah. So that is very much Chamma is. So thinking like that, Yumchen Tukje. Tukje Chamma means she is a collective embodiment of the compassion of all enlightened ones that are manifest within. So yeah, Tukje Yumchen Tukje Chamikula. Chaksal Solwa Tapa Tsamgis only by recalling their name, only making prostration to their name, Chamma's name, from the core of your heart with the very genuine intention, thought. Only by calling her, it is good enough to ourselves, put in protection. So the most important is, yes, prayer should be done properly, pronunciation, language, and then also reciting Nyambas accurately, perfectionly. But even some situations, sometimes, you are not familiar with all prayer, complete or true and pronounce it perfect, but you have a very deep sense of devotion and undoubted trust and faith to certain Idam, certain Lama, certain Khandro and Chamma program. It is very good enough to protect, bless, guide in any way you are looking for. In the early days, there is many stories connected with this kind of practice. So some of you may remembering, I may have shared you this before, and this is particularly related with Chamma. In one very remote area near the river, there is a bridge and countryside, okay? Very, very remote, you are very isolated, other than your own family members, husband, children, wife, whatever you have. So somehow in that very local area, there is a spirit, demon or negative spirit. So spirit, these spirits' job is to harm, disturb, and create a problem and make it suffering. Even in the worst cases, to kill, take their life. So enlightened one and a compassionate one is to protect, bless, protect that you can protect yourself from such situation, or protect by your own involvement of invisible, visible energy, so-called blessing, and many ways. So they have two demons in that very area, the where that is family located. So these two decided, okay, now we need somebody to hunt down. Right? So what? So they discussed, these two discussed, okay, I will go and fight with this two family and make wife go out of the house. And you wait at the bridge. When she crossed the bridge, make her push down in the river. And that's how, because means Tibetan doesn't swim, we don't know how to. Falling into river is dying yourself for sure. So they agreed. And so one went to the family, Somehow he was success and he created problems, and husband and wife have a big argument, and the woman just get uncontrollable anger, and she just carry on her baby, and she say, I'm going out. We are not going to be together anymore. So she just, with a very forceful anger, she just left the house and husband. It's not in the city, it's in the village, in the remote. There's no light in early day. So once you get out of the house, she felt so scared, getting in the deep, dark and silence, and with her breath, her step, nothing, and baby can, but because of her ego, she don't want to go back home again to show her husband that she is now having no courage to go out. So she just kind of moved forward. So crossing through the river, so bridge. So she don't know nothing. She just kind of meant to the 21 praise of Chamma to recite, but she's not able, she don't remember everything. And so just kind of whatever comes, she was reciting of Chamma's 21. So that other demon is waiting at the end of the other side, end of the bridge, and waiting whenever the woman comes, he will push her out to fall into river. So he keep waiting and waiting. He never saw that the woman was coming from bridge, but he saw Chamma, lingering Chamma, lingering, I think like this limping Chamma. Just one Chamma just passed through, but she never saw that woman with a baby crossing. So after a little while, that his friend who created the problem and get out the wife. So he said, okay, what happened? No, I didn't say, you did not send. Oh, I did. I created problem. She went with the child. You did not see anybody? No, I see. Yeah, I saw one Chamma, limping Chamma just passed. So what I'm trying to say is, even sometimes you don't have a perfect memories of prayer and all this recitation, even so, as long as you have undoubted kind of mentally connection and a devotion, trusting 100% that Chamma to kind of you surrendering yourself to protect from fears and this and that, and which Chamma exactly, even she is not reciting all complete perfect, but that's where that example of limping is because imperfect and uncompleted Chamma. So you at least still, because you're deep inside, you have no doubt, you're calling to Chamma. So in this kind of our situation also, some people may think how we can, as one person, how Chamma can help to whole world. That concept you need to take out. That itself is the number one blocking yourself. Even Chamma is with and always being, but you making it not realize because you don't trust on it. You're calling, but you're not calling from deep heart side without any doubt. Most important to make connection or non-connect to idams and lamas and khandos, it's the devotion, genuine devotion. And then undoubting calling from. You have a devotional concept or thought, but if you're not calling, knowing good doctor doesn't help. You need to remember same time, go to the doctor when you need it. If it's a heart problem, you have to go to the good heart cardiologist. If you know anybody, you know good doctor, but you go to somewhere who is a lung specialist and doesn't going to help that. So this is all matter of help and non-help and protecting and non-protecting. It's really all, it's in our hand. The enlightened one are everywhere. Wherever you call and see, try to view the presence of enlightened ones, there they are. Buddhas are everywhere, even in this house, that house, this, out in, wherever you are, there is a Buddha. Therefore, in every evening, when you go to sleep, before you go to sleep, you make 3 prostration, thinking about wherever you are heading, so Buddha is at the head of wherever your pillow, and sleep with that concern. And then bring Lama in your heart, like you are looking into the face of Lama in the form of Shilaokar, and let yourself go sleep in that way. Or you can think about Chamma that way. So be always with. Every second moment, whole your night is actually number one, is a practice night. Yeah. And your sleeping is not an ignorant sleep. Your sleeping is the noble virtue or practice, spiritual sleep. So otherwise, our most sleep is emotional, samsaric sleep. Yeah, what you get most connected and remembering of the day, very much possible you will have connected dream in the night. So it's very much like that. Huh? So think about Chamma every time. Like you wake up morning, try to remember number one, Chamma. Besides your all other practice, but think about that. As per circumstances, as per situation, what you are practicing is important. Think of Chamma when you wake up. Even in a dream, if you are going through a lot of struggle and challenges, if you can recall a Chamma in the night, that thinking, Chamma will protect. Chamma is there to protect. I have no doubt, so I should recall Chamma. If you still, even in the dream, if you remember that, that is indication that your practice in awakened time or daytime, your practice to Chamma and the general connection with Chamma is quite deeply in connection when you even remember. So that is likewise, thinking every time Chamma is present with you. Then you need to move onwards saying, okay, Chamma is there. Yes, the karma, there's again an important person, karma. So karma is very important in our life, whatever we are going through. Without karma or link, it will not appear, it will not happen. So that is very, depend. So in that sense, thinking about Chamma, be with the Chamma, feel the Chamma's presence, and reciting Chamma's every day, at least 3, 7, 10 complete counting of the Tringa. And that will be very good. And then close your day in your sleeping with the thinking of Chamma's presence. Try to mind not to distract here and there, too many thoughts after, but think about Chamma's presence, connection, energy, and with that mind, if you're able to go to sleep, it will be very productive, it will be very helpful. So likewise here, I like to ask you today to remember and practice of Chamma these days, because these days are most needed such practice. Or if you are familiar with Tempa Namka, general Tempa Namka or 17 stanza Chamma Namka that I think I have taught 2-3 times. So many of you have received that. If you can remember all of these 7 stanza and you recite and meditate on, that's good. But if not, go into 17 stanza and what is connected, which stanza is most connected aspect of Tempa Namka to pray. So that very particular stanza, it's 4 sentences, 4 or 6. So just remember and practice Tempa Namka, meditate on, calling on, think of that very stanza and meditate and recite Tempa Namka prayers and etc. So these are very important practice. I think is very important, even in our everyday, in normal, if anybody want to, but especially when we are going through a lot of such crisis, I think it's very important to everyone to focus and remember. So always, in general, practice protector, enlightened one, wisdom protector, and also the root teacher, and also a yidam, or any kando, or any enlightened one. It is always meant to be benefit when you are in most need. And they are there for ourselves to help and guide and protect and benefit. But are we remembering them all the time when you are in, the difficult time? So most often, who is undoubted and very dedicated, they will always remember the Buddhas, protectors, Sivijamo, like many of you know Sivijamo, and Chamma as well. But many doesn't know. When you get that kind of situation, number one, you look material and physical protection from somebody, or you go to police, you go to hospital, you go to this and that healer, but not number one priority to enlightened one. That is how our level of connection to the enlightened one. If you have truly on that sense of connection and intention, truly looking that Buddha can guide, Buddha can protect, and you can have, even when you have such a pure connection, if you're going through, like I have been through most 2 critical surgery, heart surgery and brain surgery. Both should have some effects or some kind of, but if you are able to bring them into the physical form, as like you are in the hospital laying in surgery, operation theater, how Buddha and Chamma and so and so before you get put down, So if you are able to go into that state, very much something that all the doctors, nurses, equipments, and etc., these all are not going to be ordinary. So doctor can be blessed through energy or blessing power of the Chamma or wisdom deity or your root teacher or the Buddha, Yidam, whatever who you're recalling at the very that moment. And undoubtedly that is going to be different. Yeah, and everybody have, not only Tibetan or we as, but everyone who have. The issue is often people have a yes, but always say but. That means you are not 100%. But brings you caution. I do trust, I wish, I can trust, All these are showing that you are not 100%. Then benefit will not 100% too, for sure. If you are 100%, undoubtedly, beneficial will never be fake or decrease or weaker, because even you have no power and quality, but the enlightened one are none lacking any energy and quality and power, as long as we are open and we are acknowledging that 100%. So it is very much. So possibly that physicians, they can feel, possibly nurse can feel, possibly your surroundings can feel, something unusual and different will definitely will feel, because its energy is not ordinary our energy. It is something different. Someone's presence could be very effective, sensitively can be felt by surroundings. That is the word the Chammas. That is the word the Yidams, protectors, like Sivijamo, right? And Ishiwarmo and others. So that is likewise. So thinking of that, simply by calling, like we say, oh God, protect me, right? That's our normal. So like thinking yourself in Chamma, that as you are calling them to be in the present. And definitely your deep silence, but it's a very powerful word you are calling. So it will be heard directly to them. You know, in the history of Rinpoche Sherap's life, there is a little kingdom, island that's ruled by one prince called Kongze Tuji Jalbo. Kongze Tuji Jalbo. So that very Kongze Tuja is a disciple of Rinpoche Sherap, but it's a prince of the one island and a rich king, etc. So he got a very inspirational thought to do something to benefit long term to all sentient beings, because he have a power to do, because he is a prince. He have a wealth, no lackage of wealth. So he like to do something very noble for long term beneficial to other sentient beings. So he decided to build such a temple we call Karnaptasal, Sankar Karnaptasal in the lake, in the middle of the lake or ocean. So those days we don't have all this equipment, right? So, and doing that, so his pure and genuine wish and a prayer to fulfill such. So he kept that very project secret to even from his family, except his mother. So his wife and children and everyone, not telling. So everybody was thinking where the prince is gone, because nobody seen him long. And so his mother was okay. His mother doesn't act like she's sad and wonder my child, because she knows, but she do not share, because he make her commitment not to share even to his wife. So she have for some time, she was fulfilling that. But later on, his wife get a little suspicious. We all are worrying and wonder where the prince is. But mother never shows that kind of something is going on. Looks like she knows something. So she asked to mother, but she said, I don't know what happened. So this and that general. Then even she get more confirming of her suspicion that she know 100%. So wife became very strict and very wild, deliberate. Say, okay, if you're not going to tell me where my husband is, the way you behave and like 100% you know it. So you're not telling me I'm going to suicide with my children. And she said, I'm going to kill myself with my children. And then she got very scared and she don't want to make sure that doesn't happen. So she said, okay, I will tell you, but make secret commitment not to share anybody, etc. So kind of like she had to tell that, because she threatened her that to suicide herself and children. When she shared that, mother shared to the wife of her son, and she get very, very disappointing and jealousy with her husband, saying, we are life partner. He is accumulating such merit and novel cause activities, and keeping me away from that. And I am his children's mother. I am a part of this kingdom. Why? I'm not going to let him get this benefit alone. So she decided to go and search husband. And finally, reaching in the same area. So her husband was in the middle of that ocean with so many unknown beings helping with, and he's instructing them in the middle of ocean and building a temple from nowhere in the middle. And then, but from the earth, the end of the ocean, and up to there, in the middle, you can see like a bridge, but it's like a more dust, earth like a dust. And they used to go back and forth. So she told her little boy, son, look, your father is there. Go and tell father we are here. So he went. The moment the son get there, all these inhuman beings, yeah. So he says, everybody say kind of being they call their secret words. Something like saying you liar. In a translation is you liar, you broke your commitment because they have a commitment not to let anybody knowing that they are helping. So everyone jumped into the water and disappeared. So he was in the middle of water now. So he went back, and his wife is very angry. So they have a long talk and so on. But that is because of that. So the very noble project is being disturbed by his own wife, and jealousy and so on. So he have now no way to complete this very noble project. It's in the middle. Even these inhuman beings are now destroying whatever they have helped him to build in the water. So they are digging from the ground in the water, try to destroy. So he went and looked, and finally in the border of the god and goddess, demigods, one place there is a kind of like playing a dice to victor the god and who is god and the demigod evils, who will win. So they're playing a dice. So this prince say, okay, I will play on behalf of God's side. So that is the time when the prayer that we do here, and also during consecration time, we do a Shivat Juji Dijit, Tongpat Juji Jesus, Tashin Jeji, Deshin on just some Changwar Juji did and Pawar Juji Devis, Tashi. This very prayer, that is the time he prayed that prayer to victor from obstacles and all distractions in the path. So then he played the dice and he victor, he win. But he still did not. That is, he is doing only the God's behalf to win the God. But he still did not get himself to fulfill it. So he's helpless. His leftover job is not. So he knelt on his knee in that area and facing up in the space, saying, is there anybody in the space who can listen my request, my suffering voice of request? I have thought to do something very noble cause and for the sake of all sentiments, so and so. Now I'm in the middle of crisis, of challenge with these evils and this and that. So if somebody please come help me to protect my remaining project and help me to fulfill. If there's no truth of burn, if there's no truth of such activity, so let everything destroyed and demolished in the water. When he called that, Buddha Tobashira heard that in the pure land of his land. So that is how he come as a manifest. So Number Java, there is a deity called Number Jalwa, whose hand gesture, one is like this, one is resting in the lap. Victorious Buddha, we call. So Tobashira manifest as a whole retinue or concert along with the Number Java itself, right where he is calling, and he come from space and come down on that very island. And that is the way, to make shorter story, that is the where he have made this prayer of Number Java and many other teachings. So then he was able to get protected. He was able to complete the project. So there he taught this all 1,000 Buddha prayers that we often make at death ritual ceremony. Somebody die, when we do reciting the numbers of each direction, 250 Buddha manifestation. So 4 major Buddha and the four measure, Lamon, Lachin, Sipachelo. So that is the how. And each of these enlightened ones led the 250, each four directions, so it's become 1,000, right? So that is the how things can manifest if you call truly from heart, what I'm saying. Likewise, if we pray from by individual with the group, from the genuine heart with no doubt in our level best, only to benefit other sentient being or to benefit yourself or whatever, but having calling from the core of your heart, and then meditate on reciting the prayer and reciting the nyemba, then equally, like this very prince got benefited, we will have. And that's the how we can do ourselves in safe, put in protection, but we also can do prayer and dedicate to benefit all other sentient beings as well. That's no doubt. So that's where I wanted to think about to pray the Chamma in this particular crisis time. So morning and evening if possible, so sit in meditation position and then sit in meditation position. And then as I say, think, yeah, that's the Chamma, the golden yellow sitting in the cross leg. And so you can see the right hand, she's holding golden vase. Golden vase is filled up with the duty, the healing liquid, you know. And then the left is in the lotus, he's holding a mirror, which is wisdom, symbol of. So compassionate of healing the duty, holding it, and then the mirror as a wisdom. So union of compassion and wisdom. Her color is golden color. She is wearing all these ornaments, etc., sitting on throne. So visualize that very form of Chamma in front of you, in which is space in the general words, but in a real, if you are able to look at as thinking that is pure land of Chamma. So it became, where you are became Chamma's land. Where you have visualized Chamma, it's pure land of Chamma. So up and down both, you are in the pure land of Chamma, thinking in that, looking on it. Then if it is a self, number one, you can imagining radiating or liquid dropping from the base into your crown in the center channel, entering that very golden liquid in the channel and spreading to every part of your body, fill up with your body. And because of entry of that very holy healing duty, which is essence, means in the form of the liquid, that is very much of healing liquid type, but it's essence of wisdom and compassion of Chamma's energy, in another word. So in that way, visualize it, feel it, almost you can unite it yourself, inseparable with Chamma in that perfection level. So after having duty, filling up all your body, removing all your karma, and especially filling yourself in an equal wisdom quality, and you are protected with the Chamma's blessing of protection of the rays and lights surrounded. And whoever you want to dedicate to protect, you can think about the same way to bless and heal as well as a protection. From the mirror, you can reflect or radiate the lights and golden lights and rays to every place where you are dedicating, where it is most. Like example now, if you can think about Ukraine and the numbers of the people, innocent people, soldiers, whoever have been died and dying and injured, helpless, send them each and every one to heal them, guide them, protect them, harmonizing the war with the hundreds of thousands of manifestation of Chamma, sending lights and rays to harmonize the area, harmonizing the emotional or ignorant energy of the person responsible through their transaction of the pure lights of wisdom and compassion of Chamma into their mind, and then transforming their mind into harmonic, peaceful, compassion, loving kindness, friendly, etc. So in that sense, you can radiate hundreds and thousands of light and rays. So that is how you can reach to each and every one of them. And then in that state of, once you are clear with the visualization, then recite maybe 7 or 21 times Sri Rana number Tabishina Yunje to De Chamegola. Chaza Sova Taba Samji Jigje Jebur Juju Omo Matamai Mo Emo Mai Sri Rana number Tabishina Yunje to Je Chamegola Chaza Sova Taba Samji Jigje Yule Jawar. You can repeat this chanting several times, 7, 11, 21, and then you can recite Om Mawa Made Maya Mawa Mawa Maya Rupaya Tadundo So Om Mawa Made Maya Mawa Mawa Maya Rupaya Tadundo So. Then Om Mawa Mamas. You don't have to chant it out loud. You can do very kind of like a silent, or you can shubble it slow in a less voice. You can do it with a concentration, but make sure this is not just your word. This is like a Chamma's blessed, Chamma's energy, Chamma's compassion that you are reciting and connecting in mind. Chamma's presence. That kind, if you do and dedicate at the end, definitely it will help, of course, our own self, but you can help to those whoever you have dedicated, and as large as you dedicate, you can do that. Okay, so whatever.
That's okay. It's nice to see people there. Hello.
Okay. Do anybody have any questions?
Rinpoche,
Okay.
I many years ago, you taught, when you taught Chamma, you had mentioned how do we keep her always with us and such. And you mentioned, and I still do it in the shower, where in the morning I take a shower and I envision the shower water as Dutsi, and I'm reciting my Nyampas and such. And she seems to stay with me for the better part of the day until things get a little rough during the day if it's too busy or preoccupied, and then I'm not feeling it so much. And so I'm doing my best where I try to bring her back, and with the vision where if I close my eyes, I can actually see her and maybe hear her Nyampa. So this is really not a question. I guess this is trying to keep her with me on days that I'm really feeling anxious or nervous about something.
Okay. Good. Everybody can do that. Everybody can practice equally. So that's why, day, night, every single moment, if you can feel and be connected with that and feel their presence, that is what the Chamma is and how it can benefit you. That's why when we eat, even so, drink cup of coffee or tea, remember of Chamma. Don't forget Chamma and make it offering to Chamma, and then seeking a blessing and bless to what you eat or what you drink, and then it became a blessing. Otherwise, it is just good for feeding your stomach, and temporal desire can be, satisfied for the time being, and then up, that's it. So it is very much every single moment how much you can keep in and presence of there. That is how it can help you. And when your mind is very distracted, think about Chamma, look into Chamma's image, reciting the prayer or reciting the Chamma Nyemba, and till it is being kind of dissolved, liberated, or disappear, whatever you can call, and then remain in that state of experience. So that is what you can call how the Chamma is. Involved to heal, overcome, protect. Okay? If you are sick, the Duchi, the Pumba that is holding weight in a heart level, chest level, so pouring a Duchi in your body through your crown and center chakra and getting into your body, and think about wherever you need to focus in a part of any health, body, to heal, to clean, to rejuvenate, you can think accordingly. So that depends on how much we are used to and how much we are in connection with that through our own ability. So the Chamma have no any differences but we have differences. We are in connection, we're not in connected or disconnected. That's up to us. Okay, good. There's no question, so we do dedications. Thank you. Okay, thank you.